Are you ready to delve into the fascinating world of psychology? This presentation explores how psychology has evolved as a science, examining key contributions and methodologies. Discover the journey from philosophical dualism to modern cognitive approaches. In the 17th century, Descartes introduced philosophical dualism, laying the groundwork for psychology. Empiricism followed, with Locke, Hume, and Berkeley emphasizing observation and experience. These philosophies influenced early psychological thought. Once experimental psychology emerged in 1874, marking a shift towards scientific inquiry. This era set the stage for psychology's development as a science. William James, a pivotal figure, contributed significantly to psychology between 1842 and 1910. As one of the founding figures of American psychology, James was instrumental in shaping the discipline during its early development. He bridged the gap between philosophy and psychology, and his work is still highly regarded today. He emphasized the importance of studying consciousness and emotion. James argued that consciousness should be viewed as a continuous, ever-changing flow rather than a static structure, an idea he called the stream of consciousness. He also explored the relationship between emotion and bodily responses, forming the basis of the James-Lange theory of emotion. James's work laid the foundation for functionalism in psychology. Functionalism focused on the purpose of mental processes and behavior, how they help individuals adapt to their environment. James believed psychology should study the functions of consciousness, not just its structure, contrasting the structuralist views of his time. His ideas influenced subsequent research and theory development. James's work inspired generations of psychologists, including John Dewey and other early functionalists. His writings also had a lasting impact on educational psychology, philosophy, and even modern-day cognitive science. This period marked a transition towards understanding mental processes. Psychology began to move away from purely philosophical roots and toward empirical investigation of how the mind works. James helped establish this shift by advocating for the scientific study of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in real-life contexts. John Watson spearheaded the behaviorist revolution from 1878 to 1958. He shifted focus from introspection to observable behavior. Watson's work emphasized the importance of environmental influences. This approach dominated psychology for decades. Behaviorism paved the way for more objective research methods. The cognitive revolution of 1956 marked a significant shift in psychology. This movement emerged in response to dissatisfaction with the behaviorist approach, which ignored internal mental processes. The revolution signaled a renewed interest in how the mind processes information, paving the way for modern cognitive psychology. Researchers like Miller introduced the information processing approach. George A. Miller's work on the limits of human memory, including his famous paper, The Magical Number 7, plus or minus 2, highlighted how people encode, store, and retrieve information. This approach likened the human mind to a computer, processing data through input, storage, and output stages. This perspective focused on understanding mental processes and cognition. Cognitive psychology began exploring perception, memory, attention, language, and problem-solving areas previously neglected under behaviorism. It emphasized internal mechanisms that underlie observable behavior. The revolution challenged behaviorism's limitations. While behaviorism concentrated solely on stimulus-response patterns, the cognitive revolution emphasized that behavior could not be fully understood without considering internal mental events. It advocated for studying the mind as an active, interpretive system. It expanded psychology's scope to include complex mental functions. As a result, areas such as decision-making, reasoning, and language acquisition became central topics. This shift helped integrate psychology with fields like linguistics, computer science, and neuroscience, leading to the rise of cognitive science. Psychology as a science involves systematic investigation and analysis. The scientific method is central, guiding research and experimentation. Kuhn's stages of scientific development provide insight into psychology's evolution. Objectivity and empirical evidence are crucial in psychological research. These principles ensure the reliability of findings. Objectivity in psychology faces several challenges. Experimenter bias and demand characteristics can influence outcomes. The problem of representativeness affects the generalizability of findings. Artificiality in experiments may limit real-world applicability. Balancing internal and external validity remains a key concern. Experimenter bias can skew results, impacting objectivity. Demand characteristics may lead participants to alter their behavior. Representativeness remains a challenge in ensuring diverse samples. These factors contribute to the complexity of psychological research. Artificiality in experiments poses significant challenges. Controlled settings may not reflect real-life situations. This raises concerns about the ecological validity of findings. Researchers must consider how artificial environments influence behavior. Balancing control with real-world relevance is essential. Internal validity focuses on the accuracy of experimental results. External validity concerns the generalizability of findings. Balancing these aspects is crucial in psychological research. Experiments must be designed to ensure both are adequately addressed. This balance enhances the applicability of research outcomes. Ethics play a vital role in psychological research. Informed consent and confidentiality are fundamental principles. Researchers must prioritize participants' well-being and respect. Ethical guidelines ensure responsible conduct in studies. Balancing scientific inquiry with ethical responsibility is crucial. Human behavior is influenced by numerous factors. These include biological, psychological, environmental, and situational influences. Genetics, upbringing, personal experiences, and immediate contexts all interact to shape how people think, feel, and act. Cultural, social, and individual differences add complexity. Cultural norms affect values and behavior, while social influences like peer pressure and group dynamics shape interactions. At the same time, individual traits such as personality, beliefs, and past experiences create unique behavioral patterns. The scientific method provides a structured approach to study these. By forming hypotheses, conducting controlled experiments, and analyzing data, psychologists aim to identify patterns and principles underlying behavior. This approach allows for systematic and replicable research. However, capturing the richness of human experiences remains challenging. Human thoughts and emotions are often subjective and context-dependent. Not everything can be measured or quantified easily, and some aspects like meaning, identity, and emotion may resist simple explanation. Researchers must account for this complexity in their work. To produce meaningful results, they must consider multiple variables, use diverse methodologies, and remain aware of biases. Combining qualitative and quantitative methods can help address the depth and breadth of human experience. Subjectivity presents challenges in studying human behavior. Some experiences are difficult to quantify objectively. Qualitative research offers insights into these subjective aspects. It complements the scientific method by exploring personal experiences. Balancing quantitative and qualitative approaches enriches understanding. Empirical evidence is foundational in psychological research. Observable behaviors and cognitive processes are key focus areas. This evidence supports or refutes hypotheses, building knowledge. It ensures findings are reliable and verifiable. Empirical research strengthens psychology's scientific foundation. Hypothesis testing is central to the scientific method. Researchers formulate and test hypotheses about behavior. Empirical data is used to support or refute these ideas. This process advances understanding of psychological phenomena. It is a critical component of scientific inquiry in psychology. Experiments allow for the manipulation of variables. They provide insights into cause and effect relationships. Controlled settings enhance the reliability of findings. Experimentation is valuable in studying cognitive processes. It remains a cornerstone of psychological research. Replicability is crucial for validating research findings. Repeated studies enhance reliability and credibility. It contributes to the cumulative nature of scientific knowledge. Researchers strive for replicable results to ensure accuracy. This principle is fundamental in advancing psychological science. Psychology builds on a foundation of cumulative knowledge. Successive studies deepen understanding of behavior. This process leads to more comprehensive theories and models. Researchers contribute to a growing body of scientific work. Cumulative knowledge is a hallmark of scientific progress. Generalizability is a key concern in psychological research. Findings must apply to diverse populations and settings. Researchers strive to ensure their results are broadly applicable. Balancing controlled experiments with real-world relevance is vital. This enhances the impact and applicability of research. Psychology benefits from both quantitative and qualitative methods. Quantitative research provides measurable data and statistical analysis. Qualitative approaches offer insights into subjective experiences. Balancing these methods enriches understanding of human behavior. This integration fosters a more holistic view of psychology. Ethical guidelines ensure responsible research practices. They protect participants and maintain scientific integrity. Researchers must adhere to these principles in their work. Ethics are integral to the credibility of psychological studies. Upholding ethical standards is essential for trust in research. In conclusion, psychology as a science blends rigorous methods with ethical considerations. It requires balancing empirical evidence with the complexity of human behavior. Through a systematic approach, psychology continues to evolve and expand our understanding. Its commitment to both scientific inquiry and human insight ensures that it remains a vital and growing discipline. Thank you.